This is your writer, Anthony L. Kelly, right here. Check it out. These are my books. Mac, Jaja, book, Sunshine. And this is my first book published, Saving Miss Caroline. And this is my latest, El Manic. Go check this book out, man. This is a nod at hip-hop on its 50th anniversary. This is a nod to one of the illest MCs to ever do it, Nasir Jones. This is me shedding the light on mental illness. I'll leave all the links in the description box. Salute to everybody who's ever supported me, man. Y'all go support your boy, Anthony L. Kelly. Check till next time.
Let's talk about, if you can, Jamie Foxx. That's something else you talked about. He is getting well now, but how do you feel about the conflicting reports early on? You know, what do you think the root of that is? A lot of the conflicting reports, people saying that he, was on his deathbed, they were preparing for the worst, and then like a couple of days later, we find out he's already out of the hospital. What's your thoughts on that?
Yes, I did see that he was out of the hospital, and then also I've been seeing some folks talk about how he was in rehab.
Yeah,
right.
And then I saw even more recently. Did y'all see where he went out recently? They had the footage of him out. I don't know if it was a club or whatever, but anyway, the cameras everywhere. Yes, that was out not too long. Yes, that was just recently where he was, showing his presence. And so that's I've noticed that on a few platforms, that video footage.
Okay.
I'm going to say this. I believe there are multiple reasons and multiple entities that utilize that narrative. I just want us to be careful when the Black family comes on. Now, look, we're in media, right? We know what it means to do a headline so that we can draw in our audience and this type of thing. I'm not saying that. You understand?
Right. Absolutely.
Right. I'm talking about our content. I'm not talking about the bait necessarily.
Right.
It matters once we have caught the bait, how we guide and direct. You understand what I'm saying? Once the bait, because we know that attention is currency now, right? Yes, attention is currency. So once we have the attention, how responsible are we with our commentary and content? I believe there are multiple things that are behind that narrative that was pushed. I did see this brother, I forget his name, who did a piece and broke down who owned one of the hip hop platforms that has millions of viewers, and it's nothing but white boys. Did y'all see that?
I seen that. Yeah.
Oh my God. When he broke down who was responsible for putting out, and when he went to the pages, it wasn't nothing but Black hip hop artists. But when he showed who owned it and the white boys that put up all the content who's behind it, it make you say, it goes back to the fact that we make the world go round.
Yep, for
sure. It's our Black magic from golf to science, right? To hip hop. It does not matter. Black folks are the one that give things life and animation, which is why the white boys were behind the scenes doing what? Controlling it the same way we know how they do in other forms of music and other areas, right?
Yeah.
That's something I believe to consider. But let me tell you some of this, and this, your audience, I'm a spiritual. This is a way for folks to manipulate the unseen too. I'm just saying. The same with Ye. Whether you believe it or not, whether you understand it or not, whether you know it or not. Some folks, Black folks, love to talk about the Illuminati and the powers, this group of individuals. There's a reality, even though how we've known the Illuminati and the families back in the day to be has changed somewhat. But there are individuals that have outsized influence, yes, on the world and the globe. Military, economics, science, and every other area of people activity. I believe it has something to do with that also in terms of pushing that, because when we give attention to certain narratives, there's an energy. And some of my family, this is why I teach my spiritual schools offline too, because some of us don't understand that everything you see came from everything you can't see. So when you involve yourself in certain narratives by putting out there, he's on his deathbed, do you know that you can help create
that's deep.
a reality that's not even quite there? You understand?
Yeah.
And because we don't know who we are, and we haven't even paid attention, and let's just talk about traditional Christianity. I'm going to say this quickly and I'm going to stop.
Yes.
The Christian rituals, when they would do many of the lynchings, A lot of the lynchings, not all of them, of course. Do you know many of the lynchings were done on what? A Sunday, the Lord's Day.
Wow.
By clergy.
Wow. Dang.
You go through the ritual. The barbecuing is not, we know the barbecue as a type of sauce now, right? That's not what it originally meant. It was a type of slow burning.
Wow.
You see? They felt that they were going through a Moses-like ritual on the altar and the burning. What did white folks used to do? Literally, you don't need to be metaphysical, spiritual, occult. Forget that. You think Vicki is a nut? Fine. Do we know historically that they ate some of our body parts? Do we know that for sure? Yes. Mm-hmm. Do we know that at the end of these lynchings, they literally fought for body parts, dismembered us? Yes. They felt that there was magic inside of the melanin, which is why they ingested it. Do you understand?
Absolutely.
So we don't understand this. Finally, we know about the movie Hidden Figures, right? Where we hear about some of our Black sisters that actually were the masterminds behind NASA and the space program and all that, right? That's normal. But the movie, with all of its problems, that just the fact that they were there, you understand what I'm saying? And they were really the driving force behind a lot of NASA's success is interesting. But you got to ask yourself this question. How is it that during Jim Crow, when we couldn't pee in the same toilets, eat the same restaurants that we were being lynched, that they had Black melanin going out of space?
Ooh.
What did they know back then?
Right.
We couldn't use the same toilet and they had melanin used as technology. Do you know that they coat the spacecrafts with melanin?
Wow.
What goes out? I'm just Henrietta Lacks. Look her up. Who is Henrietta Lacks?
I was just looking at that too.
What do they call this Black woman?
Yeah.
Who had some kind of cancer. Didn't tell the family they stole her cells. The cells are still alive after all those decades during the thick of Jim Crow. Yes, family?
Yep.
Science kept it quiet, and they had her stuff out of space in America. They were having all kind of what? Scientific and medical breakthroughs using this woman's. Ask yourself, why is it that you didn't know that? Yes.
Yep.
There's something that they know about us magically that we don't know about ourselves. And I'm simply saying that there are some principles. By me going all over the place, I was trying to give you quote unquote facts to make the skeptical mind, you understand what I'm saying? At least go down this particular road with me to understand that even in the Jamie Foxx and us joining in on that. And that's another reason why I was telling us, let's slow down on us, dog. Yay. Because some of us don't understand that some of his biggest detractors, they're occult and esoteric practices that they do. So some of the stuff that we are engaged in when we are moving in a certain type of energy, we're cooperating with something that they're manipulating behind the scenes. And you think you're doing good by quote unquote correcting your brother, not understanding that you're actually playing into the hand of the other side by putting your what? Energy or your life force on a topic that helps them manifest a certain agenda. That's all I'm saying.
Deep. That's actually all I got. That's actually all I got right now. No, real quick.
Yeah, do you think?
I'm gonna ask you about this real quick because we kind of talked about this before, but we saying that is more of these females and even hip hop. Let's talk about female hip hop since you're a female. You got the Ice Spice effect right now. You got these different artists that are, coming out. We had a conversation on here and we talked about, where would Ice Spice be where she was if she was dark skinned right now? What's your thoughts on that? If you even know Ice Spice, I'm not sure if you even know who she is.
I'm not familiar with her music. I did see, honestly, some stuff online that people were talking about skin color and this type of things. And we know that there is an advantage that our lighter brothers and sisters have in really many areas, and that's I think that's just absolutely undeniable. I think that the issue, even though you didn't maybe bring up this part, what I would like to say about the female artists that are rising up now.
Right.
I've got a book that's coming out this year called The Dark Goddess Invasion.
Wow. Okay.
And it's a book I've been working on for a long time. And I actually had a Black publishing company help me because due to my health and all this kind of stuff, it was delayed. So they actually helped me finally manifest this dream of mine that I've had for so long.
Nice.
And I'm bringing up this notion of the divine feminine, this energy, this essence that's rising up right now to bring balance into the earth. And somebody said, well, what are you talking about hip hop and this, because I think people like, Suki with the good coochie. What in the hell? And no disrespect to the sister, but my thing with Suki with the good coochie is not even just her, it's her manager. It's the people that's running her. You understand what I'm talking about? It's the individuals that put her out there. But there's something that wants to be. Okay. And it's emerging and it's messing with the tectonic plates, the underbelly of society that wants to come up. So we're seeing this Kevin Samuels, the opposite side, Black woman, can't stand Black men type energy, where we are seeing these what we consider to be gender wars, right? That's happening in Black society. There has to be an emergence of the divine feminine that breaks through. And I think that even in scandalous ways, it's coming to be even through hip hop. And it's going to balance itself out in the same way a volcano does.
Interesting.
In the same way a tsunami does. What do I mean? When you research the volcano is not just some violent thing. And especially when people tell you to be a woman, the earth is considered to be feminine. But guess what? Mother Earth has volcanoes, tsunamis, tornadoes, and hurricanes, doesn't she?
Yeah. And
it actually brings balance to the earth. You understand? And particularly with the volcano, when I was doing research on it, I found out that there is an essence that's released when the volcano erupts that goes into the atmosphere, and it cleanses the atmosphere for multiple years.
Wow.
The shaking of the volcano also brings some of the minerals and resources that were underground to the surface. Wow. There are so many benefits that take place. When you look at the sands of the Sahara Desert, I found out that the sands from the Sahara Desert makes its way all the way across much of the world into some of the most fertile areas because there are nutrients that those sands provide to forest-like areas. Isn't that something?
Absolutely.
I'm saying that there are scandalous ways in which certain things are kind of happening because it's trying to find a means to just like when we see a flower coming up in between the cracks of the concrete or sidewalk, it's fascinating. Like, how did this get here, right?
Right.
Which just seems like it's out of place. I'm saying that that's something that wants to happen. It's important that the divine feminine essence, that there is a greater respect, and I'm talking about for the true divine feminine, particularly the divine feminine Black woman, that must emerge in order to bring out balance. There's no disrespect to our brothers. Can't nobody say that ain't nobody pro-male than Vicki Dillard. Right. Let's just be clear. But in every space of universe, there is a divine counterpart. There's a male and a female energy and essence to it. And because that's out of whack on the planet, we see that reflected in our government, politics, economics, and as it relates to justice. And so no matter what it takes and how scandalous it looks, the divine feminine is going to make her way to the surface. And I think that a lot of this has everything to do with that.
Powerful.
Beautiful Queen, Miss Vicki Dillard on the Hip Hop Uncensored podcast. Definitely appreciate you. Like I said, I don't know if this is the third or fourth time we had you on, but it always feels like the first.
I think it's the third time, I believe.
It's at least three.
At least three. Yes. May I say one more thing? I don't know if you want to use this or not, but I just wanted to say this one quick thing.
Go ahead.
The floor is yours.
As it relates to our brother John Morant.
Okay.
Please do.
I believe in accountability for our people. I believe that we have to be responsible for making sure that we're doing everything that we can so that our people preserve their legacy and that they're not used and trapped to devastate and to end their own lives and legacy, right? Empowered. I think that's important. Right. And too often, we don't have enough mentor, mother, father type elder energy that's willing to be there for our youth. Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
But it disturbed me to see Black folks being the main voices calling for him to be punished and suspended, quote unquote, for at least a year. It disturbed me even more to see former athletes, I won't be specific, who came out and called him a boy and a dumb N-word.
Yeah.
Our brother is suspended now. The very people that claimed that you were concerned about making sure he didn't lose his bag, the way in which we corrected him was very dangerous and detrimental. I would have preferred, and Shade Room picked up a lot of this drama with the correction and the criticism of our brother. I would have preferred if we would have used our very big, large megaphones to say, hey, I love our brother Ja. I don't want him to misuse his resources. I don't want the powers that be, to lead him astray. Hey, I'm calling for all of us to get together and see about us meeting with our brother to have a talk. I would have rather folks to use their microphones like that. You understand what I'm saying? To say, hey, we want to be there for you. We want to help to bring correction where we can, brother. I think that would have been a better use of our platforms than to call him a dumb N-word and boy, and specifically calling for him to be punished and suspended for at least a year. Some Black folks were saying. I'm not saying that we shouldn't be corrected. You can't tell Vicki Dillard that when I'm giving us that everlasting work. The way in which we do things matters, and it can play into the hands of our open enemy. So while we can agree, and some of y'all, I'm gonna just be clear, it's some of you folks that were parents that were projecting their own fears for their children. When they were pushing for, he needed this and he needed that. I'm sick of him. What you mean sick of him? He messing up his bag. Well, when you criticize someone, let me see your tax returns first. If I'm to believe that you're more concerned about somebody else's bag more than they are. He may not have had the consciousness, but our brother is still in his 20s. Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm saying there's a way that we could have corrected that didn't call for us saying, suspend him. And calling him a dumb N and a boy. The very people that was calling him a boy and an N, they would have had a fit if somebody said that to them. Am I right? I know I am.
Yeah.
So that's all I want to say.
Very powerful, very poignant. We know. We definitely know. Ms. Vicki Dillard on the Hip Hop Uncensored podcast. Before we get up out of here, Ms. Dillard, please let the people know where they can find you, where they can follow you, VickiPlanet.com. The floor again is yours.
Yes, thank you so much. I'm pleased to say that I'm back doing content with FlyNubianQueenTV.com. I'm also on African Diaspora News Channel, so you can see commentary there for me weekly. Nice. Also on my channel, I put up some content at VickiDillard.tv, but the main place is VickiPlanet.com. I'm starting my spiritual school again at ClubVicki.com, a collaboration I'm doing with one of the networks. So we're just starting that come June 1st. So you can register for that at ClubVicki.com, VICKI, ClubVicki.com. Thank you all so very much for having me and allowing me to plug my work.
Anytime. The pleasure is always ours.
Absolutely.
Can't wait to have you on again. Ms. Vicki Dillard on the Hip Hop Uncensored podcast.
I'm going to hold you to that.
Very soon, definitely.
Please do.
Yep.